Magandang buhay mga bata! Tara, samahan ninyo akong matuto kasama si
Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you! Matatag Curriculum, Science Grade 4, Quarter 3, Lesson 3. Our topic for today is about what can forces do. This is Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Let's start! Learning competencies and objectives. The learners determine how forces can change the shape of objects, such as when they are pushed, pulled, stretched, bent, twisted, or squeezed. Predict the amount of force needed to move an object and change an object's shape. Describe what happens to an object when it is pushed, pulled, stretched, bent, twisted, and squeezed. The learners participate in guided activities to demonstrate that pushes and pulls can be used to change the speed and direction of an object, including making it go faster, turn it to a different direction, slow it down, and stop it. The learners demonstrate through guided activities that pushes and pulls can be used to change the speed and direction of an object. Describe the effects of pushes and pulls applied to objects at rest or in motion. Describe the effects of varying the force applied to objects. Contents. What can forces do? Forces can change an object's speed, its direction, and even its shape. A. Forces can move an object. B. Forces can change the motion of an object. And C. Forces can change the shape of an object. Day 1. Let us have first a short review through Pinoy Henyo. Let's play Pinoy Henyo. Each group will choose one player to guess a word from our past lessons. The word will be posted on the board or on their forehead. The rest of the group will help by answering only yes or no to the player's questions. Let's see who can guess the fastest. Group 1, magnet. Group 2, force. Group 3, push. Group 4, metal. And Group 5, pull. Activity number 1, self-assessment. Read the learning targets. Rate yourself in the before learning the lesson column, and we will visit this after the lesson to check your progress. 1 star, I still need help to do this. 2 stars, I can do this by myself. 3 stars, I can do this by myself and in different ways. Here are the learning targets. First, I can predict the amount of force needed to move an object and change an object's shape. Second, I can describe what happens to an object when it is pushed, pulled, stretched, bent, twisted, and squeezed. Third, I can describe the effects of pushes and pulls applied to objects at rest or in motion. Fourth, I can describe the effects of varying the force applied to objects. Let's talk about what forces can do. Share your ideas and we'll use this simple chart to show how forces can move things, stop them, change their speed or direction, and even change their shape. Let's have the first one, effects of forces on an object. It can move an object at rest. It can stop a moving object. It can change the speed and direction of a moving object. It can change the shape or size of an object. And last, it can be done by stretching, bending, twisting, and squeezing. So this concept map explains the effects of forces on an object by dividing them into categories. Here's a breakdown of what it shows. First, move an object at rest. A force can cause an object that is not moving or at rest to start moving. Second, stop a moving object. A force can also make a moving object come to stop. Third, change the speed and direction of a moving object. Forces can either increase or decrease the speed of an object or change its direction. And fourth, change the size or shape of an object. This can happen through actions like stretching, bending, twisting, or squeezing. Now, what can forces do? First, move objects. Forces can make objects start moving or stop moving. Change speed. Forces can make things go faster or slower. Change direction. Forces can change the direction of an object. Shape objects. Forces can change the shape of things, like bending or stretching them. Balance or unbalanced objects. Forces can keep things balanced or make them fall if the force is too strong. Day 2. Activity number 2, forces cause change. Some objects need a little force to move or change shape, like a toy car, while others, like a heavy box or a big rock, need much more force to push, pull, or bend. Work with a partner or in a group of 3. Look at the objects in the table and before you start, guess if you'll need a little force, medium force, or a lot of force to move the hard objects or change the shape of the soft ones. Then, try it out. Can I move it? Here are the rigid objects. You have to write your predictions and your observations for each object. Number 1, chair. Number 2, door. Number 3, shelf. Next, can I change it? Here are the soft objects. Number 1, paper. Number 2, clay. Number 3, rubber band. Again, you have to write your predictions and your observations. Here are the answers. Let's answer the processing questions. Number 1, which object required a bigger force to move and why? The answer, the shelf required the biggest force because it is heavy and harder to push or pull compared to the chair and door. Second, how did you distinguish your force as small, medium, or large? The answer, a small force was easy to apply and didn't need much effort. Example, moving paper. A medium force required some effort but was manageable. Example, pushing a chair. A large force needed a lot of effort and strength to make the object move or change shape. Example, moving the shelf. Each group, please share your answers to the process questions with the class. Tell us which object needed the most force to move or how you figure out whether your force was small, medium, or large. Day 3. Forces can cause change. A push or a pull exerted on an object can cause it to start moving if it is at rest. Stop moving, change its direction, and even shape. For activity number 3, forces demonstration. Let's explore how force can change objects. Watch as I show you what happens when we apply force to different things. Before each demonstration, I'll ask you to predict what will happen. Afterward, fill out the cause and effect chart to explain what happened to the object and what caused it. Demonstration number 1, putting something to block a moving toy car on the table. Demonstration number 2, pressing clay with both hands on the table. And demonstration number 3, pushing a ball forward and backward with both hands on a table. You can watch the video here. How force can change position, motion, shape, size, and direction. This is the cause and effect table. Based on the teacher's demonstrations, identify the effect of the forces of the object. For the cause, write the specific action in applying the force to the object. Do this in your notebook. Let us answer. Cause number 1, placing an object in the path of a moving toy car. Effect, the toy car stops or changes direction due to the obstacle blocking its path. Cause number 2, pressing clay with both hands. Effect, the clay changes shape, example, becomes flattened or stretched due to the applied pressure. Cause number 3, pushing a ball forward and backward with both hands. Effect, the ball moves forward and backward alternately based on the direction and applied or force applied. Let's answer the process question. Number 1, how did your observations compare to your initial predictions? Possible answer: forces are at play when opening doors, stopping a rolling ball, pressing doll, or kicking a ball. Number 2, can you think of situations in your daily life where forces are at play? Here's the possible answer. Forces are at play when you walk, as your muscles push against the ground and the ground pushes back to move you forward. Activity number 4, forces in action. Move or stop me. Instructions: using a ball, show how force can move an object at rest and change how an object moves. Activity number 1, put a ball on the table. Make sure it does not move. Apply a small force to roll the ball on the table. What happened to the ball? The ball at rest started to move. Number 2, push a ball slightly on the table or floor. Put something to block it 60 centimeters from where it started. What happened to the ball? The ball bounced back after hitting the block, or the ball may stop. Activity number 3, push a ball slightly on the table or floor. Using your other hand, push it in the opposite direction when it reaches 50 centimeters. What happens to the ball? The moving ball moves in the opposite direction. Activity number 4, constantly push a ball while it's moving on the table or floor. What happened to the ball? The ball moves faster compared to the ball in number 1. Activity number 4, forces in action. Mold me. Instructions: using clay, show how force can change the shape of an object. Here's the activity. What changes in the object? Just put a check mark for size or shape. Let's answer. Number 1, roll the clay on the table more than 5 times. The answer: size and shape. Number 2, bend the clay. The answer: shape. Number 3, stretch the clay without breaking it. The answer: size and shape. Number 4, twist the clay. The answer: shape. Number 5, squeeze the clay. The answer: shape. For the process questions, number 1, give 2 real-life examples of situations when we need to change the shape of an object. Possible answer: pressing dough and squeezing a sponge are examples of changing an object's shape. Number 2, why do we need to understand how our pushing and pulling forces affect things around us? Possible answer: understanding forces helps us interact with objects safely and effectively. Day 4. Learners' takeaways. Anticipation reaction guide. Below are statements about forces. On the column after the statements, put a check mark if you agree with the statement and an X if otherwise. Compare your answer with your previous response. Here are the learning targets. Number 1, I can predict the amount of force needed to move an object and change an object's shape. Number 2, I can describe what happens to an object when it is pushed, pulled, stretched, bent, twisted, and squeezed. Number 3, I can describe the effects of pushes and pulls applied to objects at rest in or in motion. Number 4, I can describe the effects of varying the force applied to objects. Reflection on learning 3-2-1 exit ticket. Learners are asked to reflect on their learning using the 3-2-1 exit ticket. After completing the exit slip, they are asked to share their answers with a seatmate. When everyone is done sharing, a few volunteers are called to share their discussion with their seatmates. Here's the exit slip. 3. 3 things I've learned today. 2. 2 things I want to learn more about. And 1 question I still have. Let's now go on with our formative assessment. True or false? Carefully read the statements below. Write true if the statement is true. Otherwise, write false on the blank space before each number. Number 1, a force is a push or pull applied to an object. The answer is true. Number 2, blocking a rolling ball will make it move faster. The answer is false. Number 3, pressing clay can cause its shape to change. The answer is true. Number 4, stretching an object makes it long permanently. The answer is false. Number 5, when an object is pulled, it always moves towards the direction of the pull. The answer is false. Second part is matching type. Study the pictures below. Match the given picture in column A to the change it illustrates due to the push or pull applied. Draw a line from the picture to the change illustrated in the picture. Number 1, the answer is letter B, moves an object that was not moving. Number 2, the answer is letter A, change in shape. Number 3, letter C, stops an object that was moving. And number 4, the answer is letter D, changes the direction of a moving object. Maraming salamat sa panonood! Huwag kalimutang i-like at mag-subscribe para sa higit pang educational content. I-click ang bell icon para ma-update ka sa ating mga bagong video. Salamat!